Tonight, American citizens across many states in Mexico are being told to shelter in place until further notice. It's after a cartel leader known as El Mencho was killed by Mexican security forces. Mexico's defense ministry says El Mencho was wounded during a raid in the town of Tapalpa and died while being flown to Mexico City. Violence erupted after his death. Roadblocks were made with burning vehicles in Jalisco and other states. It's a tactic commonly used by cartels to block military operations. We have team coverage tonight, but we begin with Troy Kless, who spoke with passengers who made it out of Mexico after they landed at Bush Airport.
Multiple people who returned from Guadalajara say that they witnessed the cartel-related activity firsthand. They are grateful to be back here in Houston, but say they are thinking of the people who are still dealing with the violence in Mexico.
Coming back to Houston, there was a sight stuck on some travelers' minds.
It's not unusual in Mexico. Just didn't think anything of it. Kept going, saw another car on fire. Like, okay, that's kind of weird.
Juliana Perez, one of several people who made it to the Guadalajara airport just in time. Graciela Ruiz Martinez was also on the flight.
El piloto nos avisó que el aeropuerto estaba tomado por los carteles con una voz quebrada. Sentí que ahí acababa porque ya cuando hablan de eso. Tenía mi teléfono inundado de llamadas.
Calls checking on those who witnessed the chaos firsthand, cars in flames along Mexico's streets, bringing some air travel to a halt. A response to the Mexican military killing a high-profile cartel leader, Graciela is grateful to be home.
Me siento por una parte bien que ya estoy aquí y por otra parte me duele la gente que está allá, que se quedó. La gente que vive allá, me duele cómo están ahorita todos encerrados.
After sitting on a plane waiting 2 hours for a safe takeoff, there are mixed feelings.
You saw the ground workers running around, going inside, like trying to hide, and then videos started popping up of like the airport people are running inside, and it happened to just be right in front of our gate.
Multiple airlines either canceled or turned around flights that were bound for some Mexico airports. It's unclear how long the travel could be disrupted due to the cartel activity. At Bush Airport, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
Terrifying moments for those passengers. Troy, thank you. So who was El Mencho, and what does this mean for people who may have been planning to travel to Mexico for spring break? Anieli Ruiz continues our team coverage tonight.
Violent clashes breaking out across Mexico after an operation that killed the leader of the Jalisco New Generation or Nueva Generación leader, Nemesio Rubén Oseguera Cervantes, otherwise known as El Mencho. Authorities confirm El Mencho died during a joint operation involving Mexican forces and U.S. intelligence support.
Was obviously one of the most powerful criminal figures.
Tony Payan, the executive director of the Center for the U.S. and Mexico at Rice University Baker Institute for Public Policy, says the development comes as a surprise. He notes that Mexico's current president has largely avoided direct confrontations with cartel leaders in the past.
Surprising to see that today Mexican forces, apparently in conjunction with U.S. forces, essentially killed him. Shocked that they decided to act against the cartel. However, there's been plenty of evidence that many of the Morena party, that's the president's political party, are actually aiding and abetting, if not outright participating with this particular cartel, among others.
Congressman Dan Crenshaw, who called out El Mencho by name 3 years ago, also reacting to the news, calling it a major victory against organized crime.
By far the most violent cartel, by far. And so you're going to see a lot of that fighting occur, but this needs to happen. And we are ready to help the Mexicans, but they have to want it. They have to ask for it.
Crenshaw says this is just the beginning, urging the authorities to go after the cartel's leadership structure and financial networks.
You need to do a lot more than that. You need to take out the second and third levels of leadership. And you need to take out people who are important to their operation. Again, who is the banker who's laundering their money? That's a person who's very hard to replace.
But experts warn the violence may be far from over. When a cartel leader is taken out of power, struggle often follows.
The problem that Mexico has is whether there will be a war among the different lieutenants to succeed him, and that will create a huge wave of violence in Mexico.
Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
Anieli, thank you. If you are an American in Mexico or know U.S. citizens there, here are some very important resources. First, sign up for the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. If you're in Mexico and having an emergency, you can call 55 85 26 25 61. Or if you're in the U.S., you can call 1 844 528 6611. There's also the Department of State Consular Affairs.